want students to be able to say these things when they leave me. I am a worthwhile person. I deserve a place on this earth. I am ready for whatever the world throws at me today or tomorrow. I am successful. This is from Roberta Ford. And all teachers want to make an impact on their students' lives. Mr. Rispler did just that. He made people feel cared about, and he helped the people around him to succeed. Rispler had courage and was dedicated to his students, and during my time with him, he made sure that his students were served because he loved them. He's the head of the athletic department at Reynolds High School. And the first time I met him was when I was having a hard time breathing due to asthma. And it was in my freshman year, after we did a run until you drop test, which was not a good idea, in case you were wondering. And when I was outside the PE room, and when he walked by, he made sure I was okay. He didn't have to, but he walked over. Are you okay? Do you need some help? He asked a student to come help me get water, and then when I came back, he asked me again, are you okay? He didn't have to do that. He could have thought, well, her teacher will take care of it. I'm not her teacher. But he didn't. This shows his love by his devotion to his students. After that, he came and demonstrated his service to his school and his students by taking that extra mile when he didn't have to. Mr. Rispler was my health teacher my sophomore year at Reynolds High School, and he was a major influence in my love for health in general, just because of how he taught the subject. When I was in my class, I was taught about destructive habits from him, and it was like smoking and stress and alcohol, that kind of thing. And he taught how to fix it if you've done it, and how to avoid it if you haven't. That was his main goal. He truly believed in his students. He gave them every opportunity he could to improve their grade, as well as giving them like extra time. Okay, you didn't get this through. Let's make sure it happens. He did entire retake days. We didn't do so well on this test. Let's figure it out. Let's take it again. Throughout the year, he tried to connect with as many students as possible. My time in his class showed his dedication to his students. It was service, and it was not for him. He had no gain from it, but it was done out of kindness. During or after class, he pulled students out and said, are you okay? How are you doing? How's life outside of school? He recognized that it's not necessarily what's happening in school. It can be what's happening at home. It can be what happens on the field. That's what mattered to him your entire life, not just your grade in his class. During class, he taught, and he treated like we were his kids. We weren't, but he treated us like that. Everyone knew he cared and he would help you. Everyone knew that. Honestly, I don't remember kids saying that they didn't like him. And there were lots of students in that class. It was like a class of 40. During the shooting in June of 2014 at Reynolds High School, Rispler was in the gym building, which is where it happened. In response to the shooting, he ran to the office in spite of the fact that he was grazed in the hip with a bullet. I will point out, he's 50 years old, and it was at 8 in the morning. 8:07 is when the lockdown was initiated. He ran from the gym building to the front office. That would be like, if you think of Newport High School, it'd be like going from the preschool, which is at the back of the west campus, to the front office, which is across the street. They had a point where you were walking. It was a breezeway, excuse me. When he did that, he alerted the school of an active shooter. He put the school in lockdown. We don't know what would happen if he hadn't have done that, but we know that he saved lives. Courage and being able to run in spite of injury in order to put the lives of his students and protect them made it very clear that he saved many lives. It was through his perseverance, love, dedication, and courage that many students owe their lives. One thing that he taught me was that you don't know what's happening in someone else's life, so it is important to be kind to everyone. In one of his lessons, the lights were off so that we could see his PowerPoint. And he did this. That sound scared someone in this room. That sound was not a good sound to someone. Some of us just looked up, they didn't care. Some of us wanted to know who was at the door. But for some of us, that sound meant something bad was going to happen. We don't know what happened in someone else's life. We don't know what that sound means to everyone else. We just know what it means to us. So we need to make sure we're kind to everyone, because we don't know what that sound means. There are people who are the loudest who get the most attention. Donald Trump. However, some of the most deserving don't call attention to themselves. Mr. Rispler made a difference in students' lives, one student at a time. Through quiet acts of service and more patience than any of us deserved, he served. Let his action and legacy of service be an inspiration to all of us. Today, when you go throughout your day, you might get frustrated at someone for their behavior. Think of that door. We don't know what their reaction is, but we do know